we have some Real Housewives updates in regards to divorces finalized and pending divorces. Look, I've been away, so I haven't had an opportunity to catch you up, but these literally happened yesterday and today. Ashley Darby finally finalized her divorce. Right? Come on.
What is this, honey?
Yes, according to People magazine, Ashley Darby has finalized her divorce just in time for the new season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, just ahead of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, where I'm sure she will talk more about it and whether or not she's going to get something out of the divorce. If you watch the Real Housewives of Potomac finale, she talked about them reaching an agreement, okay? And she had to give up a few things, I'm guessing. We shall see. A lot of people speculated that Ashley Darby was going to get half of everything of Michael's in the divorce, only for us to find out during, what was it, last year's reunion, that she's not going to get everything at all. And it seems as if she was going to get much of nothing in this divorce. So it might be part of the reason why she's dragged this out for as long as she has. According to People magazine, though, her divorce from Michael Darby, you know him, Gullum, is officially divorced. They said on February 10th, the Real Housewives of Potomac finalized her divorce from husband Michael Darby more than 2 months after filing, according to court records obtained by People magazine, probably sent by Ashley Darby. Bravo and the Housewives have a close relationship with People magazine. Come on. The couple, who wed in 2014, have been separated since 2022, but Ashley only filed for divorce back in November, and we saw that play out during the season. Okay. The filing was confirmed to People by Ashley's attorney, who said in a statement, I can confirm that Ashley Darby has filed for divorce from her husband, Michael Darby. Ashley is very happy that they were able to come to an amicable resolution that puts their children first. Ashley announced the pair's split nearly 3 years ago in a statement to Bravo's The Daily Dish, as she said that they were at very different stages in their lives, meaning that she didn't want to have any more threesomes and he still wanted to. She said it, not me. Okay, anyways. Okay. They said that they were at very different stages in our lives and have different goals for our futures. He wants more people in the bedroom. She wants less. She says, we are aware that there will be many speculative views as to why we have made this decision. People will be quick to assume that the causes were too much intrusion by reality TV into the most personal parts of our lives, age gap issues, cultural problems, or child rearing differences, she said. Pieces of all of these may have affected our pure love for each other, but no one reason is the root cause of our mutual decision to go our separate ways. A source told People at the time that the couple had been having serious problems for a year before their split. We've been watching this show for how many years? There have been issues looming with this couple for multiple years. There's been a visceral disconnect between them as a couple. For Ashley, the inconsistencies within the relationship and trust issues led to the split. She couldn't trust that he would not cheat on her, allegedly. In January, during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, Ashley said the divorce was in the hands of Virginia State and claimed that her ex-husband has been in the streets every weekend. He's been in the streets every weekend of every year that they've been married. Okay. As she also said that their sons, Dean 5 and Dylan 3, only know that they don't live under the same roof, but there hasn't been any further discussion of the split. Ashley is now seeing Josh Harlow. This is my first time actually seeing Josh's last name. His last name is Gutenberg. That's his last name, Josh Gutenberg. We will be continuously calling him Josh Harlow from now on. Okay. Who she met at a speed dating event on RHOP. She told Andy Cohen, he's a good guy. As she said on their relationship, we don't have any labels at the moment, but we are only banging each other.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
All right, so that's your update. Ashley Darby has finalized her divorce. She is no longer Ashley Darby. I don't know. Maybe she'll be keeping her last name because of her kids. Some people do that. But do you see a future of Ashley on the show? Look, she hasn't had Michael on the show in a few seasons because he refused to film because it's only made people dislike him even more for his own truth. But a lot of people have been over over Ashley for a while now. I don't see them getting rid of Ashley. She's in the good graces of Bravo. And she filmed that show Love Hotel with Giselle and Shannon Bedore and Countess Luann. So I don't see her going anywhere. I just don't really love seeing her, to be honest with you. All right. In other Bravo news, marriage related news, and you probably won't be shocked by this one, but Apollo Nida is getting a divorce.
What is this, honey?
Yes, Apollo Nida, according to In Touch Weekly, his wife, Phaedra's ex-husband, but his wife, his current wife, has filed. So they said, according to In Touch, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Phaedra Parks' ex-husband, Apollo Nida, was hit with divorce papers by his current wife, Shireen Copez, who accused him of adultery and cruel treatment. In Touch can exclusively report. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, Shireen filed for divorce from Apollo, who's 46, on February 7th. In her filing, she listed the date of marriage as October 14th, 2022. That's not that long ago. Why did I feel like they were married for a long time? But remember, he was also locked up. They won't let him out. They won't let him out. And the date of separation as November 1st, 2023. Didn't they film? Didn't she show up? Didn't she show up on this Married to Medicine? Did she show up on the trip? I remember they said she wasn't coming, but didn't she show up? I could have sworn I saw her in the trailer. So is that going to hurt her case, that saying that their date of separation was November 1st, 2023? Mrs. Squire, you're in the building. Maybe they were living separately, but remember, we did a whole separate video letting you guys know about Apollo being caught on the ring cam, going to another woman's house, cuddled up with another woman. So I'm surprised we didn't hear about her filing for divorce then. That was, I don't know, was that even last year, or was it maybe it was November of 2023? Shireen says that their date of marriage was October 14, 2022, and the date of separation was November 1st, 2023. So they only got married in 2022, but they had been together for a long time. Remember, he was locked up. Remember, there may have been allegedly an overlap in her relationship with Apollo while he was still married to Phaedra Parks. Okay. Shireen said that she was not asking for alimony from Apollo because what is she? There ain't no alimony to get. She probably makes more than he does. What does Apollo do? Okay. So Shireen says that she was not asking for alimony from Apollo. In her filing, she claimed that the marriage was irretrievably broken and there is no hope that we can get back together. In addition, she claimed that Apollo subjected her to cruel treatment and that he had sexual intercourse with someone during their marriage, and someone's allegedly. Had sexual intercourse with someone during their marriage, and that he was, quote, intentionally and continually deserted me for at least a year. They have been only married since 2022, but technically they've been together for many years while he was locked up, okay? So she says that he has subjected her to cruel treatment and that he had sexual intercourse with someone during their marriage, and that he had intentionally and continually deserted me for at least a year. She wrote, Apollo has committed adultery multiple times throughout our relationship. Some of his relationship, he was in jail. Did it include that time? Just asking the questions that you guys are thinking. Just asking. Apollo has committed adultery multiple times throughout our relationship. Are we expecting a man that has gone to jail for all kinds of lies and tomfoolery for him to be faithful? Just asking. I'm asking the questions. Apollo has committed adultery multiple times throughout our relationship. Apollo refused to seek professional help with his mental health issues, and instead he emotionally and physically abused me and brought great emotional abuse to his stepdaughter. What? Are we surprised? In her filing, she asked the court to grant her a divorce, divide up the marital property and debts. On the same day, Shireen filed an alleged settlement agreement she reached with Apollo that was signed in October. The alleged deal read, the parties shall continue to live in a marital home, and each one shall be free from all interference and control by the other, as fully as unmarried. And they're gonna live in the same house after their divorce. I get it in these financial times, but at the same time, I'm like, could you really? What? Okay. So according to this deal that they reached, allegedly, because that's what they said in touch. The party shall continue to live in a marital home, and each one shall be free from all interference and control by the other, as fully as unmarried, and each may reside at such place until both parties find a suitable home and all asset division has been agreed upon. Apollo also waived his right to collect spousal support per the deal. The exes said that they did not have any joint debt to handle. The alleged settlement agreement included a permanent restraining order requiring Apollo not to harass or stalk his ex-wife. I don't understand how you have a restraining order and you're living in the same house. Someone explain this to me, because I know some of y'all been through this. No judgments. We listen and we don't judge publicly. How are you supposed to live in the same house and have a permanent restraining order?
Here's the thing, a couple of things you have to remember in a divorce. One, what the person who files the divorce says is the date of separation can sometimes be subject to disagreement. Now, a lot of people, and it sounds like they may have done this, they do mediation before they file for divorce, particularly a lot of celebrities, and I'm using that word graciously for Apollo and his wife, but a lot of celebrities will do mediation before they file for the divorce so that the divorce is settled really quickly. So if there is a settlement agreement out there, then it means they did mediation. To me, they would have agreed what the date of separation was in order to settle the issues in the mediation, because a lot of rights and asset division and stuff like that kind of hinges on what the date of separation is.
Mm,
It's not uncommon to see couples coexist and co-reside with each other in the marital home, even during the separation period and during the divorce. A lot of them will do that until there is the equitable division of whatever the equity is in the home.
mm,
Like maybe one person's going to buy another person out, they got to get a mortgage and all that kind of stuff for that, or refinance, or they're going to sell the home. So that's not uncommon. I think what people are struggling with is these allegations of abuse
yeah.
and this temporary restraining order that supposedly she got, and how does that stay in place if they're living together? Sometimes a judge will look at the facts and circumstances of what is alleged in the application for the restraining order and say, okay, can we structure this in a way where you guys can still coexist? Because it is actually a hardship under the law to make somebody leave the marital home when they do not want to and they are not divorced.
Mm,
Technically, they have legal rights to stay there. So it's a big deal to ask them to leave, right?
mm,
So you got to have overarching evidence to say, okay, things are so bad, I'm going to force one of y'all to leave and
mm,
establish another home. So it sounds like to me, the court may have been able to put in some restrictions around their interactions with each other to satisfy the safety issues,
okay.
but allow them to coexist together. And that would have been dependent on whatever the testimony was before the court that considered the restraining order.
Mm,
But it's not like an uncommon thing that never happens. I've
okay.
seen it happen. I've seen people coexist in a home for up to 2 years during the pendency of a divorce. Now, they didn't necessarily have a TRO in place,
Mm.
but it's not uncommon for spouses who are divorcing to coexist in a home. It usually gets really uncomfortable because people start dating once they separated, and that can get weird.
Well, they started dating
Um,
before they even applied for a divorce.
Yeah. But yeah, we would have to know what was like the facts and circumstances before the court. But one thing I will tell you that's weird about her divorce application is she's saying that it's basically on uncontested grounds by saying irreconcilable differences.
Mhm,
But then she's alleging all this stuff about adultery and abuse, which you would typically see in a contested divorce.
mm,
And so if they're going the uncontested way, especially if they settled all the like marital estate division issues before she filed, then I'm trying to figure out why you put all this extra dip on your chip in the divorce decree or in the application for the divorce decree. It doesn't, that's not making sense to me. Now, maybe somebody who does work in Georgia can tell me why that is, but usually if you're just going to go uncontested, you state your irreconcilable differences and you move on. You don't have to put all the extra in there.
mm. The alleged settlement agreement included a permanent restraining order requiring Apollo not to harass or stalk his ex-wife. The alleged deal also stated by consenting to this, Apollo in no way admits that such acts were ever done in the past. The allegations of abuse? Because she had those claims. In no way admits such acts were done in the past, but agrees to not engage in such acts in the future. What? The deal appeared to be signed by both parties in October of 2024, but was not submitted in court until this week. When contacted for comment on Shireen's allegations, Apollo told In Touch, "I did not agree to anything. We will have to have our day in court." Oh. A lot of the language is false. As In Touch first reported back in March of 2024, Apollo was arrested over alleged simple assault following an incident with Shireen. The drama started after Shireen called police claiming Apollo had gotten physical with her. The police report said that Shireen told officers she came home after a night out with a friend. Apollo and Shireen both accused the other of cheating when she got home, according to the police report. I believe we did a video on this talking about it. I can't keep up with all this stuff. Shireen claimed that Apollo showed her a video of her kissing another man. You could do the same thing, Shireen. We just go back to my video. You remember when, Apollo, you were caught on the ring cam? Because I'm assuming this happened after the ring cam footage came out. So Shireen claimed that Apollo showed her a video of her kissing another man, which led him to pulling her hair and pushing her against a refrigerator. She said they got into a scuffle and she ran outside for help. She claimed that she went back inside to get her phone and Apollo was gone. According to the report, Shireen showed officers surveillance video of the verbal altercation, but none of the alleged physical altercation was on the footage. Apollo told officers that he tried to take Shireen's phone during an argument. He said that she balled up on the ground to protect her phone, but he was still able to retrieve the device. He says that his then wife ran outside for help, but he ran after her to give her the phone. Officers noted that neither party had any marks or bruises. Apollo was taken to the local jail and booked on a charge of simple assault. He was released on a $3,000 bond. So don't you have to get the 10% of that's what, $300? Prosecutors officially charged him with one misdemeanor count of simple battery/family violence against Apollo. Prosecutors' charging document read Apollo Edward Nida with the offense of simple battery. Isn't he still on probation? That can't be good. Family violence, a misdemeanor. For that said, accused in the county of Fulton, state of Georgia, on or about March 11th of 2024, did intentionally make physical contact of an insulting and provoking nature with the person of Shireen Lopez, who is the present spouse of accused, by pulling her by the hair and pushing her. At the time, Shireen told In Touch, also she's been talking to In Touch, "It was a huge blowout between a married couple that has brought us much closer since then." I remember covering this. "We have worked through our issues and have been going to couples therapy." But you said you guys have been separated since November of 2023, unless that's a typo. This is happening in 2024. Okay, I'm just trying to piece everything together for you. Okay. She says, "We have worked through our issues and have been going to couples counseling." The end. Shireen also denied the accusations that she cheated. Apollo's criminal case has had no movement in months. Apollo was on federal probation as a part of a separate case over bank fraud and identity theft. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2014. Phaedra, who will be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta this season, and Apollo were married from 2009 to 2014. The exes share 2 kids together, Aiden and Dylan. The president and the vice president. I don't remember what she calls them. I don't know. Yeah. Apro Life says that Kim and Croy still live together and they can't stand each other. Yeah, but they don't have restraining orders against each other. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently she was requesting a restraining order, Shireen, Apollo's soon-to-be ex. But they are going to remain under the same roof? And I get it. In these financial times, some people, that's the only option, but it doesn't seem like the right option. The timeline for me doesn't make sense here. But apparently Shireen has filed for divorce from Apollo Nida. I knew that this was coming because we reported on his recent arrest. We reported on his recent cheating. Not shocked, but stay tuned. Is this just another way for Apollo to have people interested in him? Is this just in time for Phaedra to actually have some sort of storyline this season? Because what exactly will be her storyline for Real Housewives of Atlanta? You could see that she's already utilizing him for Married to Medicine. I wouldn't be surprised if she's going to bring that over to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And to be honest with you, I really don't care because nothing about Phaedra is authentic, and it doesn't come across authentic.
You bring the lighter.